All right, so James, we have yet another two-game road trip coming up. We're coming off of a result which wasn't necessarily the best, but it still kept us in a first place tie with El Paso. Moving forward, what's the focus for the team to make sure that we stay on top of the standings and also progress as the season dies out to be able to make those playoff runs?
Yeah, I mean, the focus is always, playing the game that's the next game ahead of us. Obviously, kind of disappointing the other night to drop points so late on in the game, especially to drop points at home. So, now our focus is getting on the road and doing everything we can to pick back up and try and get 3 points in a really tough place to play. And then, we take on Phoenix on Saturday, and then we'll go from there after that one.
What has the focus been, especially for Phoenix? We have a team that is known for attacking. They're leading in the offensive end on their side of the league. Um, what what kind of tactics are you guys working on this week? Maybe to face that Phoenix side first, and then looking forward to the next game against Russ Salt Lake.
Yeah, I mean, we're all very aware of Phoenix ability and the kind of players they have and the attacking threat they pose, especially playing at their home stadium. So, like I said, we're aware of that, but we always focus on ourselves. We talk about Phoenix, and we'll I'm sure we'll look at a little bit of video on Phoenix, but most importantly is what we do in the games. And they've got a good they've got good attackers. They've got a good team as a whole, but we think we also do. We've got a good back line. We've got good midfielders. We've got good attackers. Just like they do. So the focus is always kind of on what we're going to do and how we're going to go into games rather than, worrying so much about what our opponents are going to do.
Ray, you can go ahead.
Hey, James, good afternoon. I hope everything's going well. I just got to ask, from a defensive perspective, what's been the focus on for you guys, just trying to make those key adjustments now as the second half starts, just try to limit opposition opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, our biggest focus defensively is just, everyone doing their role. I mean, kind of, everyone knows what they're supposed to do when they go out in the field across the back line. And then, the midfielders have to play their part in the defense. And then, like sometimes say our attackers are our first line of defense, and so we kind of just focus on everyone doing their role, not giving up easy goals, not making mistakes that make it easier for our opponents to kind of score on us, and like I said, the whole team kind of has their own roles defensively, and we got to do whatever we can to, force as few shots as possible that Tyler has to face.
Jacob?
All right, let's see here. So, of course, we were talking about defense there, James. Kind of moving, of course, forward, we talked a little bit about Phoenix. What can you all also do to really help limit the pressure for Tyler Derrick on the defensive side for not only Phoenix but also against Real Monarchs?
Kind of like I was just saying, it's kind of just a matter of everyone doing their individual roles. First of all, the best form of defense is offense. So, the more that we have the ball and kind of play with the ball on our side, the less we have to worry about defending. So, that's always a important thing for us, how we're going to play on the offensive side, how much we're going to have the ball, and how we want to keep possession and make it hard for our opponents. But, when the ball turns over, like it does in any game, we just have to be ready to react. And like I just said, not make any mistakes. The worst kind of goals to give up are easy goals. So we just have to make it as hard as possible for them. And, like you kind of just mentioned, kind of make Tyler's game as easy as possible. And, we trust that when the ball ends up coming towards goal that he's going to make a save too.
You have something to add on your questions?
Yeah, so just one more. James, I know for you, it's been it's been a little bit of a difficult season for you because I know you haven't been active in a lot of the matches recently. But outside of football, they say you got to have a lot of mental aspect, and sometimes for having a strong mindset is to like have other outside activities such as having the non fund trading that you've been able to establish. how has that been able to like just help you on the professional side to just keep everything just organized from a mental perspective as you just keep growing as a professional footballer?
Yeah, I mean that was something that was a really cool experience for me, kind of releasing this, NFT, like you just said. It was a really cool experience for me. It was something that I could do off the field and kind of dip my feet in, something kind of like I mentioned, a world that I've never really gone into yet. I've never really had that much going on off the field, and so this was very cool for me to kind of experience that and get a feel for that side of things. But with that being said, I mean, on the field will always come first. That's my main focus. And like kind of you mentioned, I haven't been so involved recently as I was, to the start of the season that we had. But I'm always working hard on the field, and that's always my main focus. And I know that I have trust in my abilities, and whenever I'm called upon by the coaches to kind of come in, I know that I can come in and do a job that will really help the team. But yeah, so on the field is always my main focus. But having that little side hustle, I can call it, with the NFT and, a little bit into the business world of things is a really cool experience for me, and definitely something I learned a lot about, and I'm excited for it in the future too.
Thanks, James, and good luck on Saturday night.
Thank you. Thank you.
And just to finish it off here, James, we're looking into the second half of the season already, and it seems like the common topic around the team has been the leadership that the experienced players have been giving you guys. What's the environment like right now in the locker room? Especially, I mean, you guys have a first place battle going on with El Paso right now, and last year the team wasn't even in contention of the top half of the league. So this year, what's the environment like in the locker room? Like, what's the motivation internally between you guys, not just the coaching staff, just looking at the team itself to go ahead and battle for that first place overall and do something in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, we do. We have a tight-knit group, and we've got a good set of leaders in that group. I like to consider myself one of them, and we have the likes of Vicente and Juan David and Rodrigo and Tyler, who have been in the game for a long time and have seen and done a lot of things at the highest level. So we definitely have a good group, and a good group of kind of core leaders. But we've got talent and good personalities throughout the team. I think we've got a really good balance, and it's a team that's kind of gelled really well so far this season. We're almost at the midway point, and we're in a good place right now. And I think kind of our environment in the locker room is probably a really important aspect to that. We get along off the field. We get together and stuff like that off the field once in a while, just to kind of bring the team together and share some time together outside of the locker room, outside of the pitch. And so yeah, I think it's just a group that's gelled really well together from the beginning. And I think kind of this group of leadership and veteran presence that we have has definitely played a big part in that, for sure.